Hi everyone, please welcome to Analytics Dungeons and Dragons Cast Your Dice. Joking apart, today we are talking about something related to not set on Google Analytics 4. We are talking about some misleading attribution and something like that. Obviously, we use Dungeons and Dragons because, as you know, I'm quite a nerd on role-playing gaming and GA4. So I think that the best way to introduce some trouble that we got is to use the dice with the natural 1 or natural 20 that we use on Dungeons and Dragons. So, first of all, I'm Enrico Pavan, and I'm the Dungeons Master at Analytics Boosters, and also I'm the proud member of Fellowship of the Dice. That is a role-play party that we got in Treviso, and I'm the master and also a player of this Fellowship of the Dice. So let's starting, and we can just prepare our paper in order to define our character sheet, attributes, and so on. And then we can enter to the world of Dataland. Dataland is a place where everything is working fine. We got the sun that is the pie chart. Google Analytics 4 is working well, also for the GTM or other stuff. And every analyst is working with all the tools setting up properly, and the data is flowing into the tools like never before. And we are all I'm gonna say all happy about this world, but something happens. There is some trouble that is coming to our dataland. Dragons and fire and disaster is coming to the town, and then we are going to fight with this type of issue that we are going to encounter during our process to define actionable insight and stuff like that. The main character that generate this type of issues are Lord Data Error. Lord Data Error are our enemy, and it's coming to our town on Dataland with the Vanity Metric Army, the Duplicated Tracking Golem, and the JavaScript Error Dragons. So there is a lot of things that is not working at the moment, and he's coming to destroy our data strategy and to destroy our actionable insight that we could make decision faster and rely on data. But no panic at all, because at the Lonely Data Tavern, we got 4 heroes that are talking about how to defeat the Lord Data Errors in order to bring back all the data and collect the proper insight that we want to use for our data strategy. We got the Paladin, that is the Data Integrity Guardian, the User Privacy Defender, and the Data Silo Destroyer. Then we got the Ranger, that is the Customer Journey Master. He's got the Segmentation Bow, and is immune to the fear of BigQuery and GA4. And then we got the Bard, that is the hero of data viz, the master of data communication, and the protector of data democratization. It's like more or less the intern that everyone got inside a company. And then, joking apart, we got, for example, the wizard, that is the hero of GA4, specifically for not set, the master of attribution, and also the protector of Google Tag Manager. So when they are in the Lonely Data Tavern, they listen to a wise man that is talking about artifacts that could be used to beat Lord Data Errors. And the artifacts are the KPI Magic Dashboard, the Insight Cane, and the last one is the Cursed Book of Query. And so they accept the quest and gain the artifact maps in order to find them and to use against the Lord Data Errors. So the chapter 1 is the data depth, and our dungeons begin. And we are going to inside the dungeons, and the traps are ready to fire when we are pushing some floor or some hint that is not going to set it up properly. So it's time to roll the dice. First of all, we got the GA4 not set, and the issue number 1 is related to the revenue attributed to not set. And this is one of the common cases that we got not set inside GA4. And usually, if we roll a 1, a natural disaster, we got the case that the 20% of revenue attributed to not set and the full common Vutu is in place. We got set it up the blended report identity, and no issue if we switch to device based from the report identity started on blended. So we are rolling a new dice and we got a 20, and the solution is to erase the user ID var from the Google tag event settings, and then set the user ID in another variable named, like, for example, CRM ID, user ID underscore something else, etc., and then maintain the blended identity. Using these 3 types of fix, we got a reduction from the 80K, near 80K gross purchase revenue to 5 to 10 key revenue attributed to the not set. So we reduced from 20% to 3% more or less inside our property. And then the issue number 2 related to the not set is the not set on Google Ads campaign. Usually when we talk about ads campaign, there is a lot of misleading attribution of Google Ads campaign, not set in session campaigns and something like that, or for example, not set or organic inside the session campaign, etc. But if we want to fix this type of information, we just use the UTM parameters as suggested from Google and other solutions that we can find on LinkedIn or other blogs. But remember that if the users, for example, grant the ad user data, auto tagging wins and all data costs from Google Ads are imported inside the property. Vice versa, if the UTM wins, so the ad user data is not granted but denied, no data cost is imported from Google Ads inside GA4 data. So pay attention when you're using this type of solution, and be in mind that you need to get ad user data granted if you want to import data, Google Ads data inside GA4. And the solution number 2 is, for example, if you want to use, again, UTM parameters and you want to get a double check inside this type of solution, you can, for example, set UTMs and ZC lead in a local storage, and then retrieve them via custom dimension, send them to Google BigQuery, and then query on it in order to obtain the insight that you want related to the UTM parameters. And the issue number 3 is that we got not set on custom dimension via data layer pre-GTM. So for example, we set the data layer before the declaration of the GTM, and we can split, for example, the as the best practice G tags versus page view tags. And we are using, for example, G tags with preview true. We fix all the issue if we switch to that. The solution is to set tag sequences in Google tag, then fire a page view after the Google tag, and then cancel all the triggers in the page view. And the very last is the measurement protocol. A lot of not set are coming from measurement protocol. And for example, we bring the Google documentation, read it quickly, and then send data to GA4. And yeah, everything is working fine. Everything is in place. But a lot of not set is coming to, for example, UTM source medium, or a lot of not set is coming to campaigns or landing page or something like that. And the solution is that, for example, we forgot to send the client ID among the parameters and send the user ID if possible, or even the session ID. And last thing, pray, because it's the most important thing when we talk about not set using measurement protocol, because something is broken when we send information directly to the GA4 server, but Remember that we need to focus on client ID, the same as the users are going to send it when he's browsing the website. And then we need to send the session ID in order to get the same session and attribution set properly between session users and user ID. And with all this stuff fixed, now the beholder is defeated and the KPI magic dashboard is in our hands. So we are going back to the track, and then we are going to the quest related to the cane of the insights. And we are talking about the GA4 hyperlog++. The issue is related to the data displayed versus the data sum. And if you, for example, take the data report in GA4 interface as correct, you're going to miss something, because if you sum what you are going to download at the same report, like the standard report or even into the exploration, there is total different value between what we see inside what we see inside the report displayed versus the Google spreadsheet or the sum that we got inside each element we download from the report. And this is due by the fact that you always need to download data and exploration, because the difference is based and related to hyperlog++. That is a tool that is used for the estimation of the number of unique elements in a large data set. Like, for example, even with duplicates like unique visitors. It's something related to probabilistic approach, and we are going to sacrifice some precision for significant efficiency. Remember that when we talk about hyperlog++, we generate a difference between 1-2% on users and 3-4% on session, and the highest difference is based from what we see reported inside GA4 and what we got inside Google BigQuery. And then we got some exploration errors, the issue number 2, because, for example, we are used to set, for example, source medium without any specific prefix. And then we forgot that we are going to analyze something related to the attribution section. And sometimes we got, for example, no data for the combination of segment, of values, filter, and stuff like that. This is why we use all the thing that is not related to, for example, sessions, is not related to first users, is not related to anything that we can use to gain the whole amount of traffic, more or less, and the new users for what we are going to talk about, first users. And the button rages on, and the mimic in this case is defeated. We got the scroll and the bar read it, and we got the cane of the insight. And inside the scroll, we got this this value. Only track what's important. And this is one of the things that we need to define when we talk about GA4 measurement plan and other stuff related to the tracking system. And forward the third artifact, we are going to the cursed book of query. And first of all, we need to switch from BigQuery sandbox versus paid. Remember that if we talk about the sandbox, it's totally free for GA4, but free means that we got only 2 months of data, and we can only query on it using the last 2 months that we got, and everything is canceled if we are going to store more than 2 months of data. So just go to the BigQuery paid. If you paid, for example, and you are under the 10 gigabyte activation storage and 1 terabyte query per month, you can just use your credit card. You are not charged for anything if you use it like a repository, if you, again, remain inside certain type of limits, and you can remove the 2 months history that you got in the free version of BigQuery. And other issue that we need to pay attention on is the cost reduction. And for example, we need to try to reduce the amount of gigabytes or terabytes that we are going to define with the query using, for example, tools like artificial intelligence, and review every time the query in order to reduce the cost and reduce the volume of the query. Instead, like in this case, we reduced of the 100% from 3 to 1.6 gigabyte. And then same thing here, we reduced by the 100% from the 5 gigabytes to more or less 3 gigabytes, and so on. So pay attention when we're talking about on how you create, the information related to the query, and try to reduce the amount of gigabytes you're going to ask on your query. And then use the AI integration. Remember to use, for example, tools like Accio or other stuff instead of use Excel or something like that. I mean, when we talk about, for example, integration, we can use tools like Accio in this case, that is a plug-and-play tool that you can, for example, connect with Google BigQuery or GA4 or Snowplow, whatever you want, and then help you to prepare the data, like filtering, merging, and then you can train the model using prediction, forecast, and something like that, and show you something like, in this case, I want to understand if there is any correlation between the dates and the impact on average order value on the e-commerce. And I can see, for example, that we can this highly impact on the average order value. Or, for example, we can ask the tool to create a prediction related to how many people generate a basket value of 58 euro, and the people are aged on 30 years old, and they are going to make the transaction on Wednesday. And then clicking on a single button, we got the information of 9 large bags related to the average order value. And so the sorcerer is defeated right now, and the book of queries is in our hand, and it's time to defeat the Lord data error. So putting together all the radix and all the stuff, let's tackle the Lord data errors, and using queries, proper data, avoid garbage in, garbage out, and using the proper information that we can collect or gather from tools that is set for example, online, offline, like CRM, or offline commerce, and sort to GA4 or other stuff. We can rely on proper data that we can use to improve our business and to improve our conversion and our revenue. And with all this in mind, Lord data error is defeated, and this is maybe the end of this quest. If you like how we talk about GA4 not set, smash the button, and then see you for the next quest. Bye.